what kind of social capital can be derived from running a marathon or from competing in the Olympic Games or competing in world championships? What is the connection between sport and society? Big question.
That's a huge question. First of all, I just want to congratulate everybody for being here. I know you've all been on your journey to get here, whether you're doing the half marathon, the marathon, the 8K, and it's it's at times like these when our city is vibrating with people. All of you who come to run, to walk, to crawl across the finish line if you have to. We're going to see some of that tomorrow. So as far as the idea of like the social capital, the value of sport, the value of play, I think that it has just phenomenal amount of value, and it behooves us to just stand back for a minute and ask ourselves, like, why does it matter? Why does it matter that we have events like this that bring us all together in an experience of community? Why does it matter that we meet friends and we run together 5K in the morning? Why does it matter that kids gather on a soccer field and enjoy the experience of sport? And I think any of us who've made sport and play part of our lives understand the kind of things that we learn while playing and while participating in sport. I think there's a huge element of social connection. I think that sport and play is a way that we connect human being to human being, and you'll see that tomorrow in the marathon. If it's your first time here in Victoria, you'll be going through the streets of Oak Bay, and in your own little personal bubble of pain, and somebody will cheer you along and offer you jelly beans, or somebody beside you will say, "Great work," and all of a sudden, in that little instant, you're having a shared experience. And I think in this world where we're becoming increasingly isolated from one another, that shared experience is more rare. And one of the few places that we have it is when we participate in an event like this, or when we meet at 7 o'clock in the morning, our friends, to go for an 8-kilometer run or something like that. I mean, I could talk forever on the subject, but I'm going to let Pat chime in here.
Hi folks, once again, I'll echo Silken, thanks for coming. I think the key answer is two opposite sides of the same paradigm. One is when you do something physical, you take initiative. And the story of humans is about taking initiative. It's moving from a cell to what we are now to where we're going. And the other part of that side is self-control. When the whole world can seem out of control, the one thing you can control is your attitude and your body. And your attitude and your body are linked together. When you look after yourself, you look after your attitude. So when you do something fitness-wise, something physical, regardless of the intensity level, regardless of the time, it's the initiative you took to make a difference in yourself and in your world that changes the rest of the world at the same time.
Can I be sort of crass, actually, and ask a different kind of question?
Crass?
No,
we're just getting started, Paul.
Well, no, I want to give you a different starting point. We'll get back to that spot, I guess, too. But let's try to put a financial value on it. I mean, the fact that this group of people is out here and they will be running either a marathon or a half marathon or 8K or in the kids' race tomorrow. These are all races. What sort of financial value could be put on that? I mean, these people are in shape, which means, I think, that, the tax dollars that go towards supporting the Canadian health system, which is very much beleaguered these days, can look to these people and say, hey, you're saving us a lot of money.
And
enormous amounts of money.
Huge amounts of money. One of my areas of passion is childhood obesity and inactivity, and we know that in Canada we have an epidemic of inactivity for kids. Only 1 out of 10 children in this country get enough movement, whether it's a sport or just movement for optimal growth and development. And we have about 35% of kids in Canada, 35%, who are overweight or obese. I mean, what is the cost of that?
Enormous.
I mean, we know that children who are overweight are going to be obese as adults, or certainly overweight. We know the health implications. It's not just an aesthetic thing. It's heart disease. It's type 2 diabetes. It's needing, having mobility issues far earlier. It's having arthritis far earlier. So, you know, it's a huge impact. And, you know, I gotta tell you, Health Canada does not get it.
Right.
They do not get it. There's still such a mentality of illness within Health Canada and within our Canadian psyche that, you know, health money goes to treating illness. And I think it's just high time that we started putting real money in community fitness, in sports programs for all kids and all adults, in transportation. I mean, one of the greatest barriers in getting kids active, for instance, is getting kids to their activities. And when you look at the socioeconomic statistics, it's the poorest kids in our country who are the most overweight and the most obese. And one of the hugest barriers that they're facing is just not being able to get to the activities.
So it's, the money, the capital that is spent, people complain, or some people have complained about money that's been spent in sports programs, either playground or podium, whatever end. They say, oh, this is money that could be better put into other kinds of programs, social programs maybe. But it's enormous, the differential really. A little money spent in that area comes through with enormous benefits. I mean, the patch really.
Yeah, you know, I get really passionate about this one because it's not just the money that people ask to be spent. It's like, just get out of our way and stop taxing us for being healthy. I mean, you know, when you go and buy groceries that are healthy versus groceries that are full of sugar and you get taxed in the same way, it doesn't make any sense. When you go and buy a soccer ball and you get taxed on that, it doesn't make any sense. And when you go to the hospital and you're in a lineup because someone has chosen to smoke for 50 years or not be unfit, and you can't get primary care because the system's overloaded, because fitness is taxed more than non-fitness, and taking care of yourself is taxed more, and looking after yourself is taxed more. And so the system is backwards. And the Minister of Health yesterday, when she spoke at the press conference, was beautiful, because, you know, I'm in provinces across the country, and I hear the different people speaking, and she spoke about fitness and about health. And she didn't speak about sickness and disease and what we're going to do about it. What she spoke about was preventative care, which is what you guys are doing. You know, and if people would just get out of our way and let us buy running shoes without any tax. And, you know, none of these people are asking for any special favors, but just let them do what they're doing. You know, just, you know, if someone wants to work out, make it easy for them. And it was on the news yesterday, and in the United States, they think the cost of obesity is in the billions per year. Per year. So let's just take Canada, a simple scenario. Is it, let's say it was just $1 billion. That's still, to me, a lot of money. I think, is it a lot of money to you guys, $1 billion? I can't even understand what that number means. But if they just let us do fitness, in whatever shape or form we want it, and didn't tax us on it, the difference in the healthcare system would be shorter waiting lines in the hospitals, less people going there in the first place, and the healthcare crisis wouldn't be a crisis. You know, people would just be healthy because it made sense. So we just got to get out of the way.